Good morning, everyone. We are Software Development Track 2, Cohort 16, and today we will be talking about the philosophy behind Rick and Morty. To start off, we have Cosmic Horror, led by Project Lead Anthony.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Today we'll be educating everybody on Cosmic Horror, and Brianna's going to be starting off with talking about H.P. Lovecraft and the influences that he talked about. And Ollie's going to be covering the history of Cosmic Horror, and then Justin's going to be covering science fiction and Cosmic Horror, and I will be covering cosmic pessimism and optimism. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brianna, and I will be discussing H.P. Lovecraft. Here is Mr. Lovecraft right here. He was born on August 20th, 1890. He was born at Rhode Island, Providence, and he's an American writer who writes short stories, novels, novellas, and he was first published in Weird Tales in 1928. And if you actually been to Rhode Island, you will look that way too. So here are some of the people who actually inspired H.P. Lovecraft. We have Edgar Allan Poe. He's an American writer who writes short horror poems. This is Algernon Blackwood. He is one of the first people who actually scares H.P. Lovecraft with his stories. Here is Lord Dunsey. He covers horror science fiction. So as you can see, as you collaborate all these ideals, you pretty much have a sense of cosmic horror. And also the Arabian Nights inspired H.P. Lovecraft. He was fascinated with the Islamic traditions and folk tales. So what is cosmic horror? So Lovecraft horror and cosmic horror are used interchangeably, and they mean the same thing. So cosmic horror is different from traditional horror, which takes on the role of scaring people with gore and shock. And cosmic horror focuses on aliens and supernatural horrors. So what is cosmism? It is a philosophy that H.P. Lovecraft developed himself. He believes that there is no divine presence, such as a god. So humans play a very insignificant role, and it more focuses on the intergalactic existence. And cosmicism is similar to nihilism. However, the big difference is cosmicism focuses more on the insignificance of humans, and nihilism focuses more on they really don't have any, they deny things that move towards life. So here are a few books that were written by H.P. Lovecraft. It's the Call of Cthulhu, and here's actually a picture of Cthulhu that was crafted by H.P. Lovecraft. It kind of has like this octopus tentacle mouth situation going on. And here's a quote from the book. It says, "The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of human mind to correlate all its contents. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. The scientists, each training in its own direction, have hitherto harmed us little, but someday the piecing together of dissociated knowledge will open up such terrifying vistas of reality and our frightful position there that we shall either go mad from the revelation or flee from the deadly light into the peace and safety of a new dark age." So this is pretty much a book of horror short stories, and then we have another book, At the Mountains of Madness. Here's another quote. This is a summary. This book's about a recollection of a science expedition that takes place in Antarctica, and they come across supernatural and untold threats to the expedition. All right, so here's some people who were influenced by H.P. Lovecraft. We have Alan Moore. He did a 4 comic books series on Neonacmacon. And then we have Stephen King, and here's some words that Stephen King said about Lovecraft. He said, "Lovecraft opened the way for me as he had done for others before me. It is his shadow so long and gaunt, and his eyes so dark and puritanical, which overlie almost all the important horror fiction that has come." And then we have H.R. Geiger, who actually is a famous Swiss painter who does all the artwork for the Alien franchise, based off the images of Cthulhu. And as you can see, Pennywise by Stephen King and Cosmic Horror playing in there. So here are some things that Cosmic Horror played. And so in some video games like Black Ops, Destiny, and Fallout, they pretty much use his theme. So they used the Cthulhu mythos, so it's an open fictional world where a lot of famous writers can add characters like pretty much Gotham or Arkham. And here are some shows that take on cosmic horror. So we have Doctor Who, Scooby-Doo, South Park, Teenage Mutant Turtles, Supernatural, Rick and Morty actually has their opening scene with Cthulhu, and House. So that is that one. And then on the next one, so this is H.R. Geiger, who does the artwork for the Alien franchise. He's like embracing H.P. Lovecraft's themes.
Okay, so long before H.P. Lovecraft unified this idea of cosmic horror under one concept, humanity still had this fear of the unknown. And we had attributed these concepts that we had not understood yet to these divine beings. And we can see that in ancient civilizations and their religions. So in ancient Egypt, they assigned life and death to these deities, like Anubis here, and then in other civilizations, the Greek gods and Titans, their battles shaped the earth and the universe. And their power, they had these incomprehensible like battles and powers that are far beyond like human stuff. And then the Norse gods had, in Norse mythology, there is this idea of Ragnarok and the end of the world and how it happens and it happens over again, and the whole apocalypse. You know, Y2K, 2012. You guys all seen the movie? It's all of that is kind of these things that are beyond our power and beyond our knowledge, and we can't control it. So that kind of plays with the cosmic horror. So with Rick and Morty, Rick is this genius scientist who creates a tool with portal gun, which literally creates a gateway to alternate unknown dimensions. And that directly plays into cosmic horror as a tool for storytelling. But what's unique about Rick and Morty is it uses this as it uses this for comic relief. So instead of basking in the negativity behind it, where we have no power and it's like scary and stuff, instead they choose to laugh at it, and they use it as a punchline for almost every episode. And as our understanding of the universe advanced, so did our creativity. By that same essence, we also understood that there was a lot that we didn't know. And when those two came together, that created, that amplified the fear of the unknown, and it's what we understand now as cosmic horror. But there's also this other side to it.
So connecting this idea of cosmic horror to my next topic, science fiction, the concept of science fiction is basically the idea that we use imaginative concepts such as advanced technology and science, time travel, space travel, and extraterrestrial life. And there was this scholar named Robert And he had this idea that the history of science fiction is based on the idea that the history of humanity's changing attitude towards space and time, and the universe that they understand. And there's this idea that in science fiction, there's this idea that humanity is the center of the universe, and it's shown in many movies, TV shows, and video games. And specifically in the Avengers, we have this idea that there are superheroes that are trying to protect mankind. And this all connects to the idea that based off the idea that we are in the center of the universe. And this contrasts with the idea when there are aliens that attack the world of the Avenger world, and they are unknown, they have unknown power, and we don't know where they're from. And it makes us ask the question, are we significant? And this idea is played a lot within the show Rick and Morty, specifically the episode of Swifty. Get Swifty. In this episode, there are these giant aliens that approach Earth, and they are asking humanity to perform in their intergalactic version of America's Got Talent. And the Cromulans are asking they view the humanity as, so the Cromulans are viewing humanity as merely an object of entertainment, while the humans are viewing them as an unknown horror that's causing disaster and chaos all across the world. And it's up to Rick and Morty to save the world by performing in this game show. And this concept of cosmic horror is always playing with the idea that there are these giant entities that show how insignificant humanity really is.
So who is Eugene Thacker? Eugene Thacker is a professor and an instructor, and his writing is often considered to be associated with nihilism and pessimism. What is cosmic pessimism? And cosmic pessimism is when there's a negative outlook towards the universe, and basically us as humans all the time, we're scared of things that are out of our control, such as asteroids, black holes, and solar flares, just things that we can't understand and we just have no control over. Cosmic pessimism is the negative outlook towards that. So it's the sense of, oh, we're doomed, we can't make it, we won't be able to do anything, why even try? Whereas cosmic optimism, as you can see with Rick, he just doesn't care about anything, he doesn't care about anything. Whatever happens, happens, because it's the intelligence behind him that basically just lets him know, there's nothing we can do, we might as well live life to the best. And then with that, all values end up starting to slip away once we realize that we're insignificant to the rest of the world. So a lot of people at certain points will just give up, but since all the values and meanings start to slip away from everything, it just depends on how your outlook on it is, optimism or pessimism. And that's all.
Any questions?
Question 3.
What kind of real life cosmic horrors are there? Like in nature?
I would asteroids, solar flares, and I would say even we are cosmic horrors to even littler things, so like bugs, animals, stuff on a microscopic level. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.